You're listening to the Confidence Coach Podcast, episode 57, How to Reverse Engineer Your Money Goals. What's up? Good morning. How are you doing? Happy to have you here. So welcome back to the show, Confidence Coach Podcast. Today, I want to talk about reverse engineering our income goals. What I want to do over the next few months, because I get a lot of requests on specific podcasts that people want to hear about. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start sharing more of the podcasts that you guys want to hear about. And so I had someone specifically ask me to talk more about how to reverse engineer our income. I talk a lot about goals and how we reverse engineer our goals. And even when we have income goals, we can do the same thing to reverse engineer them. And what I mean by this, a lot of times we say, hey, I want to make $10,000 this month. But maybe your salary at your, quote, day job is only $5,000 a month. So you have a gap of $5,000 that you would like to create in your goals. And so I want to give you a few tools, income tools, budgeting tools, however you want to put it, that I've used to help me kind of reverse engineer what my money goals look like and how I can achieve them quicker and maybe even grasp a little bit of reality on them. And I don't mean reality like, haha, you can't make it happen. But I mean like, if you're only making $1,000 this month, the chance of you making $10,000 next month or $100,000 next month is slim. Not saying it's not possible, because I honestly believe that anything is possible. But sometimes we just need to incrementally upgrade our goals. So say you want to, and I like to double my goals usually. So if I have like an income goal of $1,000 this month, I would try to make it $2,000 next month. Or if I'm used to getting $1,000 every month, I want to make it $2,000. Or if I'm used to getting, $5,000 every month, I want to, double that, shoot for $10,000 next month. And the reason for that is I've actually learned this from Grant Cardone, and he actually does the 10X rule. So he says that you need to 10X your goals. And while I still do this, 10X can be kind of a lot with your money goals, but definitely for other goals, I 10X everything. For money goals, I tend to double because I find that that's more realistic. So let's just say, for example, if I want to make $10,000 this month, I made $5,000 last month, or let's say you want to make $10,000 this month, you made $5,000 last month. Even if you fall somewhere in between 5 and 10, you're going to feel pretty damn good because you beat your last month. All right. So just think about that. Like, even if you don't reach your full goal, doubling your goal means that you're doubling your potential to reach that goal. So even if you land at 7,000, 8,000, hell, even 9,500, you're much closer to that 10,000 than you were that 5,000. So, another example is if you just wanted to up it $1,000, you're like, oh, this is easy. You're not really pushing yourself outside your comfort zone by only making an extra $1,000. So I hope this makes sense. And I'm just using like figurative numbers. Like, I just pulled these numbers out of my ass because they're round numbers and I feel like they're easy to use. So that's what numbers I want to stick with. Let's say in the month of February, you want to create $10,000 income into your bank account. I want you to get clear on how you can make this happen. Okay. Now I want you to remain open to how it happens, because sometimes the universe throws us curveballs that we never even saw coming. For example, the other day we got a couple of refund checks from last year due to overpayment. Now, did we know that those were coming? No, but I'm always open to receiving extra income in my life because money flows to me and through me easily. Money is just energy. I accept it, right? And so then that's when you start getting these random checks in the mail instead of random bills in the mail. So just be open to receiving any and all forms of additional income into your life. While I do want you to get clear on the how, I don't want you to get hung up on it. Okay, so I'm hoping this makes sense. Just keep an open mind. It does not have to be perfect. You do not have to go step by step by step by step. But I want you to kind of break down your goals, because I know that money goals can be hard, and sometimes we're like, I have no idea how I'm going to make this happen. So let's just get down to it, okay? So your money goal, round numbers, your money goal for February is $10,000. Okay, let's say that your average salary that you bring home from your day job, because a lot of the women that I work with have a day job or wanting to quit their day job, wanting to start their own business, wanting to increase their income, wanting to, do those kinds of things. Start a business, build a business, things like that. So your day job brings in $5,000 monthly, which leaves us a gap of $5,000 that you need to come up with to reach your goal of $10,000. Okay. And so a lot of these women that I work with have side jobs, side businesses, side gigs, multiple jobs, multiple streams of income, things like that. Now, did they get that way when I first started working with them? Absolutely not. Sometimes a lot of us, including myself, are very closed and narrow-minded when it comes to income. And we're just like, oh, well, if it doesn't come in the form of a paycheck from XYZ company, then there's no way that I can make more money. And that's false. I want you to open your mind to creative ways to bring additional income into your life today. So if this is something that you are really stuck on, like, I have no idea how I can make more money, I want to challenge you to come up with 25 ways that you can create additional income into your life today. This can be, you can start a network marketing business. You can sell some of the stuff in your house. You can babysit. You can house clean. You can host events. You can, do VA work online. If you're a good writer, you can write blogs for people and sell that. You can start an Etsy shop. You can be an influencer. You can do things like apply for, I think there's like an Amazon influencer, there's like eBay influencers, and basically what you do is just share your favorite products and you get a commission on it. You can also join affiliate programs. Like if there's a specific product that you just really, really like, or if you have like an online course, things like that, or if you did an online course and you really liked it, a lot of times there's affiliate programs where you can get up to 50% commission on whatever that product price is. So there's just tons of things that you can do out there. And if you're in the Midwest, believe it or not, you can go freaking pick up cans in the ditch. I'm not above a nickel. I've done it. I still return cans for 2 reasons. I put that money into my daughter's piggy bank. And yes, I'm old school. I have a little piggy bank for her because I think it's kind of cool to show her that, hey, we saved money. We put it in here. And then also because it's recycling, right? Like otherwise cans just go in the landfill and blah, 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 blah. So if you're, in the Midwest and Iowa, I know there's a few other states that do it too. But there's just lots of things that you guys can do to create additional income. If you're great at playing the piano, do piano lessons. If you're great at horseback riding, do horseback riding lessons. I mean, there's tons of things that you can do on the side to create extra income. So look at how much time you're wasting during the week and figure out how that could be turned into additional income if you have money goals this year. Now, this isn't for everybody. Not everybody has money goals, right? But if you do, I want you to challenge yourself and come up with 25 ways that you can create additional income today, starting today. Not that it all has to be done today, but that you start today, okay? And it doesn't have to be in the form of a job. Get creative. Sell some shit. All right, so you have to come up with $5,000 to meet your $10,000 goal. Again, your salary is $5,000. You have a $5,000 gap. So let's just say that you do have a side business, okay? Whether that's an online business, whether you're a network marketer, whatever that is, whether it's brick and mortar, whatever that is, okay? I want you to figure out what your signature service or product is. Like, what do people gravitate to the most? Okay. So whether that's like a certain program, whether that's a certain, I don't know, candle, t-shirt, coaching service, whatever it is, what is like your number one best seller? Okay. And then I want you to figure out what like your number two best seller is. So for me, my best sellers would be my coaching program, and my second best seller would be my events, which I will keep you guys updated here soon. I will have one coming up in April, and I'm very excited. And then I would say my third best seller would be retreats. And so it just goes in that order, right? And so you figure out how many of this particular service or product you need to sell to come up with the difference. So let's just say that you have a product that you profit $200 from. Okay, there's a difference between revenue and profit. So if like somebody pays for something, say something costs $500, how much time, money, and energy do you have invested in that product, and how much profit do you make off that product? This is a whole nother conversation, but I want you to figure out how much you need to sell to make up that difference. So again, let's say you profit $200 off of one specific product or service. Okay. So if we want to break that down, you would roughly need to sell 25 of that product or service to meet that $5,000 gap, which would get you to your $10,000 goal. So now sit with that. Is that reasonable? How many did you sell the month before? Do you think you can do it? So if you need to sell 25 of that product or service at $200 profit, how many people do you need to reach out to? Okay, and so this is where I use the Grant Cardone 10X rule. And this is where your brain can start to tell you like, oh my God, I can't do this. This number's too big. How can I talk to this many people? Is this possible? This is where the negative thoughts start to spiral out of control. And I just want you to push all that shit aside, because your product or service is bigger than you. You are not the only reason. Gosh, how do I want to say this? It's just bigger than you, okay? Like, you have to get out of your own way. Like, the reason I do this podcast, the reason I do these coaching programs isn't just for me. Like, I'm doing it for the bigger picture, right? I'm thinking like, how many people can I impact? How many people's lives can I change? Like, it's so much bigger than me that I just have to say like, shut up, Sausha, get your ego out of the way and just go for it, right? And the worst anybody can say to you is no. And I highly, highly doubt anybody's going to be like bashing you. If you do, hit me up and we can talk about it. I've been bashed a few times, but over the years I've developed thick skin, so I just kind of flip them the bird and go on with my day. But the 10X rule, this is where I would apply it. So if I have to sell 25 of this particular product or service, I would need to have 250 conversations, because again, look up Grant Cardone. He's this just sales expert, and I've been following him for a while, and I just really enjoy his philosophy behind sales and marketing. I would have to talk to 250 people to get that to convert to 25. So you just like 10X every goal that you have, right? So do you think that you could talk to 250 people about this product or service? How many people would that be each day? Maybe you do a vendor fair and there's, 500 people there. Could you talk to 250 of them? Could you do a live video? Could you do interviews? Could you go around knocking on doors? Could you find other businesses that could use your product or service? Is there certain things that, is there certain people that you could collaborate with, or do Instagram takeovers or Facebook takeovers? Or how many people do you have in your phone, contact right now? How many people do you have in your Facebook contact? Like, just start to think like, how many conversations could you start around 250, okay? And let's just say that number is, excuse me, hang on. And let's just say that number just scares the absolute shit out of you and you're just like paralyzed by fear, which happens, you guys. Like, this shit is scary. I don't care what anybody says. This shit is scary. Like, putting yourself out there, is scary. And like a lot of people don't talk about it because they're just like, oh, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just shut up and do it? And I know that I say that too, but I understand that there's like this whole fear factor behind it. And like, what will people say? What will people think? What if they say no? How do I start this conversation? How do I ask them to buy? How do I not be a creepy, slimy salesman? I get it, guys. I freaking get it. I totally get it. And so just bear with me, okay? I want you to start to kind of lean into that fear. And what is the worst case scenario? Okay. But let's just say that, again, talking to 250 people just scares the living shit out of you. So let's decrease that number a little bit, right? Let's say you sell 15 of your signature product at $200 profit. That's $3,000 right there. So now we're up to about 8,000 of our 10,000 goal. Now, if you're a half-asser, this is where you would quit, right? Like if you're halfway through the month, you have 8,000, you're like, this is good enough, okay? Which is fine. If that's how you want to roll, that's totally fine. But if I have half a month left, you bet your sweet ass, I'm going to try to close the gap and hit my original goal. So let's say that you are a full asser, not a half asser, and you're like, I'm going for it. I have half a month left to come up with $2,000. Like, let's see if I can meet and exceed this goal. Now, let's say that the full month on the other end, right? Let's say that the full month went by and you only got $8,000. Still celebrate the shit out of that, okay? You tried your best and you got over your original $5,000 from the time before. I'm just saying, if there's time left in the month, keep going. Like, just keep going. Like, see what's possible, right? Just because like you meet your goal doesn't mean you're just like, okay, I'm content. Or maybe you are. Like maybe you're one of those people that's just like content, like, all right, like this is cool. But for me, I like to constantly kind of like push the limits and see how far I can really go. Because a lot of times we are capable, far more capable than we give ourselves credit for. We are so much stronger than what we think. And until we start to actually achieve those things, we just have no idea what's possible. And so I just like to push the limits, but I also like to give myself grace. I don't like to beat myself up because, shit happens. And sometimes, life knocks you down a peg and says, hey, Sausha, you don't have control of everything. Hey, guys, like you only control how you feel. You don't get to control all of the world. So anyways, I digress. Back to our numbers. So you reach out to 15 or you get 15 people to purchase at $200 profit. That's $3,000. So you have a gap of $2,000. And this is where you're going to start getting really creative in your income generating goals, we'll say, if that's a thing. Yeah, that sounds good. So this goes back to the 25 ways that you can create more income today. What can you do? Can you sell stuff? Can you babysit? Can you start an online business, online course? Can you clean houses? Can you paint houses? Can you do one of those rover apps, like where you dog walk, or do another one of those apps where you house sit, or like there's a bajillion freaking things that you guys could do. If you're the creator of your own product, maybe you increase your prices, 5%. Would that make up a difference? Maybe there's another product or service that you can offer. Say you have another product or service that you profit $100 from, right? How could you sell 20 of those to get $2,000 or whatever it is, right? So just start to get really creative on how you can do it and kind of reverse engineer. Like, how many people do you need to contact today? How many people is that a week? How many people is that a month? And then you can also reverse engineer this for the whole year, guys. Like I just broke it down into a month, but you can, times this by 12 and make this a yearly goal. Like, how many people do I need to talk to every day to get this yearly income goal to get me to the next level, right? And so this is where you're really going to push yourself outside the box and say, like, who can I network with? What can I do? How can I dream bigger? How can I think bigger? And this is where you'll start, attending events or like reaching out to other people. This is where you'll start to do collaborations, because I've learned that you can't do any of this alone, no matter how hard you try. And a lot of times you just end up getting stuck and you're like, where do I go from here? I don't know. And then you don't do anything because you don't know where to go from here. And so you wake up every day like it's Groundhog's Day and not making any real progress. So that's what I have for you guys today. a special request from actually one of my clients that wanted to talk about reverse engineering your income and a few budgeting tools. Actually, I didn't even get to budgeting tools today. I can do that another day. So if you have any special requests for podcasts, if you've been listening and you're like, oh my God, I want to hear about this, send me an email over to support@sashadavis.com and just say like, hey, Sausha, I heard that you were taking requests. I'd love for you to talk about this. And it can have anything to do with life, business, confidence, fear. I mean, literally, you guys, like, there's nothing off limits. I've had people ask me to talk about my birth story, which I will. I've had people ask me about how I got started on this podcast. So I'll share like how to start a like, there's just tons of things that I plan to share with you guys. This year, 2019, I'm just going to be totally open and transparent and give you guys what you asked for. So if you have any special requests, or if you've been listening and you're just like, man, I really wonder about this, like, just send me an email or go over to Instagram. You can find me at Sausha L. Davis and just DM me, right? Like, I'm a person. Let's just have a conversation. If you have questions, ask me. Like, I'm an open book. Like, just I'll give you all the tools and resources that I can to help you on this journey through life, for you really to become a confident, badass version of yourself and just live your best life. Like, that's what I'm all about. I just want everybody to not live in fear and just be confident that they can do whatever the hell they want, and that you're in control of your life, right? Like, you're the driver of your life. Like, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Okay. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, I would appreciate it if you screenshot this, share it with a friend, leave me a 5-star review, write me a review if you want. I love reading those. I think it's just very helpful to figure out what you guys want to hear from me, you know? And so thank you again. I really seriously appreciate each and every one of you. Go out there, be a badass, conquer your dreams. All right, talk to you later.